Here are the 4 things that I want you to walk away with from tonight's show. 1, you cannot be indifferent. By ignoring what's happening in our country, you might be happier. You might feel like, not so bad. But it's not going to work out well. If you ignore the things that are happening on your campus or your kid's campus, it's not going to make the problem go away. You can't be indifferent because history always repeats itself. Always. In the 1930s, Harvard invited Hitler's foreign press secretary to speak on campus. Seems like an outrage now, but then it was only an outrage for a small number of Americans, mainly Jews. And Harvard and everybody else said, hey, that's not a problem. In 70 years from now, your grandkids will be asking, where did Grandma and Grandpa stand as Ahmadinejad came to speak to the UN? Did they have dinner with a bunch of Ivy League friends? You can't afford to be indifferent. Know where you stand, and by all means, stand for what you believe in. 2, learn from our founders. Learn especially from Washington, the things that he told us to do. He didn't believe in carrying huge debt. His words, cherish public credit. One of the methods of preserving it is to use it sparingly as possible. That's George Washington. Cherish public credit. Pay your debt. We know our politicians are incapable of this in government, but you can do this in your own home. Preserve your credit and avoid debt. I'm struck as I'm starting this new network and spending every dime I've earned in the last 10 years. I am struck with how many people now are starting to say, be very careful on what you buy, be very careful on what you spend. I'm totally content. I was broke 11 years ago. I'm totally fine being broke again. My wife and I have talked about it. I think we were actually happier when we were broke. So it doesn't matter to me. Got to do what I believe is the right thing. You do the right thing. And don't. My grandfather taught me the best time to have money is when nobody else has it. Somebody has to have some money to be able to restart the engines of this great nation. Let it be you. Third thing I want you to remember is Obama's foreign policy has been harmful to Israel, but that means it's harmful to us. As goes Israel, so goes us. And the fourth, take evil at its words. While the mainstream media will focus on Columbia University students canceling dinner with Ahmadinejad, you don't lose sight of who this man is and what he believes. He's going to be speaking to the entire world, and he is playing a huge role, so are his puppet masters, in the Middle East. This man wants to wipe Israel off the face of the map, and it's most important that you understand that he sees them as the little Satan. We are the great Satan. So they're first, we're next. But more importantly, this guy actually believes in the hastening of the return of the 12th Imam. How do you hasten the return of the 12th Imam? Anybody know? What? Chaos. You create chaos. Wait a minute, that brings us back to Stephen Lerner, who says we've got to create a crisis. Anybody who is creating chaos is on the wrong side. It will destroy the Western way of life. Teach your kids the truth and educate your friends. We are our own best defense, and quite honestly, we're the last line of defense, as was intended by that guy, George Washington. Next, we'll spend some time with the audience.
GBTV. The truth lives here.